All right. Then the activities is my next column. So when are we going to collect this direct evidence? Okay, Stan's talking about how small his program is. You're going to have to collect evidence for a while before any decisions can be made. But you got to have a process under which you're collecting that evidence before you can make a decision. Okay? We have that problem with some of our smaller programs, but some of our bigger programs, like my allied health program, we collect enough evidence every semester I can make decisions. I really can make decisions. And it's funny because this fall, in our capstone courses, we have huge numbers in our capstone courses. It's just sort of the way it's managed. And there's like 50 capstone projects. And the assessment committee that I used looked at me and said, we're not reading 50 papers. You know, it's been a long time since we've had that kind of. And so I agreed that we would do a sampling from each course and put them together and look, so they're not going to read 50 assessment papers. So you have to think about, well, how am I collecting this and what am I doing and what's the process so that people can keep them, can get them. You know, so many times, how many of you have to think about it during the semester. So at the beginning of the semester, we decide early on in the semester when we're going to what we're going to collect that semester. And we contact each one of those faculty members and tell them what we're going to collect, okay? And they tell their students, and we have a form that the student signs off on that says they understand that this assignment's going to be collected, and they know it's not with their name on it, so nobody sees their names, okay? And then we remind the faculty in November that we're going to do this, and this past week we were calling faculty to say, so when can we have it? Because if we don't, everybody forgets. So it's got to be part of the process to be able to collect this stuff. And we don't collect everything every semester. Are you kidding me? We'd never have enough time. So we have to make decisions on what we're collecting in each given semester.
How much of this is online?
None of it.
So that's why you're not collecting everything every semester.
That's right.
If it were online, you'd be able to collect everything all
Right.
the time. My comment to Joe when he was like, well, where are these things? Do we have any evidence? The answer is that in our online programs, we have all the evidence in the world as long as IT didn't delete it. The question that I have for you is, in your focus groups, how do you select those 10 students?
I don't. It's self-selected. It's random.
They're invited.
They're all invited.
Okay.
They're all invited. Every graduating
So
senior
you
that
have-
has petitioned.
You have 20 who want to come. How do you say these 10 are the 10?
Oh, I make enough. If I need to go to another night, I go to another night.
Oh, okay.
So if I would get 80, I'd do 8 nights of 10.
Because my concern with
I just have never had that problem.
My concern with that, or it's not a concern even. It's, you know, when I did the review at DeSales, we had a committee of 10 students. But it was very obvious that we had 10 really wonderful students who loved DeSales and were doing well.
Oh, yeah.
Most of
Always.
them were seniors and juniors. We had one
Always.
person freshman. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But I will tell
I'd
you,
like to have a way to get a well-rounded focus group.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to just hear the good stuff.
no,
The
and I
good
agree.
stuff, I love those people anyway, but I want to hear from those people who maybe didn't do so well.
Well, then you have to go directly to them
Yeah.
and ask them.
Well, and I'll tell you what we do is every 3 years, the May graduates receive a phone call with 3 questions. Every single graduate, after they've graduated, we call them. But we only do that every 3 years because I don't have enough staff to do it any more often than that. And so we have 3 questions that we ask. You know, other than saying congratulations and we really appreciate, but we do have 3 questions that we really need to ask you. If there was one recommendation you could make to us about your program, what would it be?
Exactly.
Okay? If there's one thing that you would say to us that we should never change, what should it be?
Exactly.
And the third thing is what do you consider the best piece of learning that you gained? Because we want to hear that. That's all we ask, and we get off the phone.
So you just take some notes and come
And we have a couple of our full-time advisors run it in the evening. Okay? But we only do that once every 3 years because we don't have time to do that. I don't have the staff to be able to do it.
You know,
But
really, truly, every 3 years is fine.
you know, but we catch, it doesn't mean I don't do the focus group. It just means we don't ask if you participated in the focus group, we cross you off the list of phone calls. Okay? So if I get 20 students, then I'm only calling 60. And we still only get about a 50% response rate. But at least we tried, and we can say that we do. What was the most important piece of learning that you gained? Yeah, because we want to know what's sort of that aha moment. I'm always looking for the aha moment. Okay. So, yes.
As a, just thinking one thing that, as you're saying, I was thinking we could do for a direct evidence. If we had in the penultimate week and the 6th week or the 13th week, a really great discussion question that would indicate
Absolutely.
critical learning, and now you captured that and you hold on to it. Is that a good?
Yes,
direct
absolutely.
evidence?
Yes.
In
And
addition to all the other things, just as one
Yeah.
element.
And so what we do, and this is the next time I come back, we're going to have, this is going to be the whole time because it takes forever. But what we do is we take all that material. So, for example, I take all my capstone papers, and we've agreed as an assessment group what we're looking for in that capstone paper based on this. Okay? So if it's written, we've got a nationally normed rubric for writing. And our faculty read that paper and use that nationally normed rubric and determine whether our students are writing at the level we want. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing every paper. We analyze all the statistics, and we say, are our students overall, is the average of our writing at the level we want it to be?
Are there a number of national?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that the next time I come. Yep. And we're going to show you how to do that and how to design your own. In some cases, we've used nationally normed, and in some cases, we created our own. Okay?
Because I'm a tough critic with rubrics. I haven't seen many of them.
Okay. So we'll have that conversation. But that's what we do with it is we really take a look and say, because one of the things is taking the evidence, collecting it, okay, but then analyze, is making that analysis and making decisions about what we're going to do. So you can see on here, you know, we review the materials and make recommendations to the advisory board. The advisory board annually, and a focus group of students every 3 years. Well, that's changed. When we did this in 2006, I said, oh, we'll do a focus group of students every 3 years. Not. We're now doing a focus group of students every year, but we're calling graduates every 3 years. Okay, so we've made some changes because I didn't feel I had evidence enough to be able to make decisions. We had guts, but did I have enough evidence to be able to make a decision in a curriculum?
I'm starting to get overly critical. So I'm going to, what does have a more robust review every 3 years?
Okay,
Me,
wait till I get there. That's
Okay.
the next line.
That makes no sense.
I'll explain what it is. Okay. So under time frames, okay, it says the Advisory Committee for Organizational Development and Leadership will meet annually to review samples of direct and indirect evidence. Okay. When we put this together originally, I envisioned an advisory board for each one of my majors. Those of you that were here last time know that I have 15 of them. That meant 15 advisory boards. And I very quickly said, oh, I'm not doing this. There's no way I'm going to do 15 advisory boards. You guys are crazy. I'm not doing that. So what we did is we created an assessment committee, which is cross-functional, cross-disciplinary, cross-program. Every year they meet multiple times with me, and we analyze all the results. Okay? The more robust, okay, is when we're analyzing results as the assessment committee, we're looking across 12 programs, across the unit as a whole, and saying, can our students write? Can they critically think? Can they do what we're doing? Every 3 years, we focus in very specifically on a different program in a cycle. And I bring the advisory board in, and we really heavily look at these and say, so the robustness is we're really drilling down, looking at every piece of evidence we can collect from that program that year. We do extra work on that program, and then we have a spring coming out where the advisory board meets and we have a conversation.
The only reason I brought that up was because in the previous one you have, and you
Yeah.
provide how you're gonna get that. Here you just say you're gonna have a robust review.
Right.
To me, my robust review is gonna be different than your robust
Right,
review.
right, and so,
So I'm looking at measurable terms, what you're talking about.
very, very, very good. And so this was a first draft back in May of 2006. It's changed dramatically, and I've learned how to write better since then. There is no question, but you're right. That was the problem. But the other thing that we can do is we can always go to an outside group at that point and have an outside group come in and take a look at it.
That robust 3-year review, I mean, might that also cover other things about the program?
It could.
Student services, enrollment data.
Yeah.
The kind of thing that the university maybe is.
That's right.
Financials.
Yeah,
This
that we,
is the
we,
learning piece.
we had an
But
image.
attach that
Yeah.
as far as how you're doing.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Okay. And then the person responsible, you can see that it's me, because there really was nobody else in my department because I don't have any full-time faculty, and it's part of the faculty responsibility, so I didn't have a choice.